There's a fundamental reality many overlook. No one is riding in on a white horse to rescue you. Your circumstances will shift dramatically only when you decide to invest your complete energy in the one place it truly counts, yourself. Every aspiration you hold, every objective you aim for, the very future you desire to inhabit, all boils down to a single factor: your willingness to concentrate on your own development, without getting sidetracked, without making excuses, and without seeking external approval. You need to build an inner fortitude so powerful that no setback can shatter you, and no rejection can deter you. The world tends to reward those who achieve self-mastery, not those who assign blame or passively wait. The individuals who succeed are those who dedicate themselves relentlessly to their own progress, their unique vision, and their chosen path. Focus on yourself until you achieve your goals, because if you don't, who will? Today can be the turning point where you stop looking outward for solutions and start constructing the life you deserve from the inside out. Stay with this, because it could be the most significant mindset shift you ever experience. Chapter 1. Dedicate yourself daily to building your strongest self. You must fully commit to building your best version of yourself every single day. You don't have the luxury of taking days off when it comes to personal development. Life isn't pausing for anyone. Each day you let go by, every moment you allow to escape without investing in yourself, it accumulates against you. You are either actively shaping the life you desire, or you are passively drifting further into a life you don't want. Many people never achieve their aims because they don't maintain focus on their own growth for a sustained period. They're too preoccupied with watching others, too busy with comparisons, too easily pulled away by distractions. The most valuable gift you can offer yourself is daily dedication. A commitment to becoming stronger, a commitment to gaining wisdom, a commitment to cultivating greater discipline. This isn't something you do sporadically. It's a conscious choice you make every day, regardless of how you feel. It all begins with that decision. You must decide that you won't let another day slip away. You must decide that you will work more diligently on yourself than on anything else. Your strongest self won't magically appear. Your mind won't sharpen on its own. Discipline won't just materialize. You are the one responsible. You have to make it happen. And it starts with small, consistent actions. It begins with choosing an hour of reading over mindlessly scrolling. It begins with one workout instead of finding an excuse. It begins with saying no to unhealthy food and yes to something that nourishes your body. It begins with sitting down in a quiet space and setting meaningful goals for your life. These small daily decisions are the building blocks of your strongest self, laid one by one. But you must persist. You can't just work on yourself when life is easy. You have to do it when it's challenging, when you're tired, when you feel disheartened, when no one is applauding your efforts, and when the results aren't yet visible. That's when the real work is done. That's when you're laying the foundation for a future that no one can take from you. Strength is cultivated in quiet moments of effort. Strength is built through overcoming struggles. Strength is forged when no one is watching. Your strongest self isn't built on good intentions. It's built on consistent action. You have to be the one who shows up for yourself day in and day out. No excuses, no blaming, no waiting for a burst of motivation. Motivation isn't going to save you. You save yourself through consistency. Consistency is the genuine secret. It isn't always glamorous. It isn't thrilling every day, but it is incredibly powerful. And it works. Every day you prioritize yourself, you move one step closer to your dreams. Every day you focus on your growth, your personal power expands. The results might not appear overnight, but they will come. The world acknowledges and rewards those who remain focused when others give up. The world acknowledges those who believe in themselves even when circumstances seem impossible. You need to be honest with yourself. Are you actively building yourself, or are you merely distracting yourself? Are you propelling yourself forward, or are you allowing life to push you around? It's a tough question, but the answer can liberate you. If you are not getting stronger, you are becoming weaker. If you are not advancing, you are falling behind. There's no standing still in this journey of life. Growth isn't optional, it's essential. You must protect your focus as if your life depended on it, because in many ways it does. Focus is your greatest asset in a world designed to divert your attention. Every notification, every trivial piece of news, every negative influence is vying to steal your future. You must guard the gateway of your mind and consciously decide what gets your attention. Your attention is precious. Your attention shapes your life. When you fully dedicate yourself to building your strongest self daily, your perception of the world begins to change. You stop seeking external validation. You stop feeling the need for permission. You stop wasting time trying to justify your dreams to people who will never grasp them. You stop feeling guilty for desiring more from life. You stand firm in who you are and who you are becoming. You must understand that no one is coming to build you up. No one is responsible for making you strong. That is your job, and it's the most crucial job you'll ever have. You have to respect yourself enough to put in the effort, to sacrifice temporary comfort for enduring strength, to choose growth over conformity, and to build a future so resilient that you can stand proudly within it regardless of the storms that may come. Every morning you awaken is another chance to build yourself, another chance to make yourself stronger, another chance to prove to yourself that you are serious about your future. You cannot squander these days. You cannot treat them as if they are limitless. They are not. Every day is a fundamental component. Every day is a part of the foundation. Every day truly matters. And here's the beauty of focusing on yourself. When you become stronger, everything around you improves. Your relationships get better, your health improves, your finances can improve, your confidence soars. But it all begins with you. It invariably starts with you. If you focus on yourself until you succeed, you'll look back one day and realize that the success itself wasn't even the ultimate prize. The real prize was the person you became in the process. Your strongest self awaits on the other side of discipline, on the other side of sacrifice, on the other side of consistency. And you possess what it takes. You already have everything you need within you. You don't need more talent. You don't need someone to rescue you. You need to commit to yourself at a level you never have before. Start today, not tomorrow, not next week, today. Focus entirely on building your strongest self today, and then wake up tomorrow and repeat it. Accumulate those days. Accumulate those small victories, and observe how your life transforms. Observe how your confidence grows. Observe how your strength becomes unshakable. This is how you win. You don't win through hoping. You don't win through luck. You win by focusing fully on yourself every single day. You win by showing up for yourself, no matter what. You win by refusing to quit when things get tough. You win by doing the work that most people are unwilling to do. Focus on you until you win. Because if you don't, nobody else will. Chapter 2. Train your mind to filter out external noise. Every day, you're bombarded with noise. Opinions are everywhere. Distractions compete for your energy. Voices try to dictate what you should do and who you should be. If you're not careful, you can spend your entire life living according to other people's expectations. You can lose your true self trying to keep up with a world that doesn't even truly know you. That's why training your mind to ignore the noise isn't just important, it's absolutely essential. You have a finite amount of attention. You cannot give it to everything and everyone. If you do, you'll have nothing left for what truly matters to you. Your dreams will wither, your energy will deplete, your confidence will erode because you cannot cultivate a strong mind if you constantly allow external noise to infiltrate it. You have to protect your mind as you would your most valuable asset, because that's precisely what it is. The world will always have something to say. People will always have opinions, but opinions don't build your life. Opinions don't pay your bills. Opinions don't craft your future. Your actions do. Your choices do. Your daily focus does. The moment you begin to listen to every opinion, you surrender your power. You start to second guess yourself. You start to doubt your chosen path. You begin to move more slowly. You start to diminish your vision just to fit into someone else's limited perspective. Training your mind to ignore the noise is about developing inner strength. It's about becoming so firmly rooted in your own vision that the outside world cannot unsettle you. It's about knowing who you are so clearly that nothing anyone says can pull you off your course. This isn't about arrogance. It's about clarity. It's about understanding that your life is too significant to be derailed by other people's doubts or fears. The first step is to gain clarity on what truly matters to you. When you know what you're striving for, it becomes easier to identify the noise. Not every comment warrants your attention. Not every distraction deserves your energy. You have to decide what is worth your time and what is not. If it doesn't propel you closer to your vision, it's noise. If it doesn't help you grow stronger, it's noise. If it drains your energy instead of building it, it's noise. You must become fiercely protective of your focus. You must shield your mind from negativity, from gossip, from jealousy, from comparison, from fear. You cannot allow yourself to be drawn into pointless conflicts. You cannot waste your time justifying yourself to people who are determined to misunderstand you. You cannot live your life trying to meet standards that are not your own. That is how dreams fade. That is how great potential is squandered. Train your mind to find quietude when the world becomes loud. Learn to hear your own inner voice above the clamor. Learn to trust your own instincts even when no one else understands. Strength comes from knowing that you don't need external validation to move forward. You don't need permission to follow your path. You don't need approval to chase your dreams. The only voice you truly need to answer to is the one inside you that knows you were meant for something more. There will always be critics. There will always be doubters. There will always be people who think you are foolish for believing in something bigger. That is not your concern. Their noise is their issue. Your concern is whether you allow it into your mind. Your responsibility is to keep your mind clear, strong, and focused. That is your job. That is how you protect your future. When you train your mind to ignore external noise, you move with greater speed. You think with more clarity. You feel lighter. You stop carrying the burden of other people's opinions. You stop apologizing for wanting more out of life. You stop diminishing yourself to make others feel comfortable. You begin to live with a power that doesn't wane just because someone else is uneasy with it. Training your mind isn't about pretending the noise doesn't exist. It's about recognizing it for what it is and choosing not to invest your energy in it. It's about saying, I hear it, but it's not relevant to me. It's about staying locked in on your goals, regardless of what the outside world throws at you. It's about building a mind so resilient that it can handle rejection, criticism, failure, and setbacks, and still keep moving forward without losing belief. Every day presents a new test. Every day you will be tempted to react, to defend yourself, to explain, to seek approval. But every time you rise above that temptation, you become stronger. Every time you ignore the meaningless noise and choose focus instead, you sharpen your mind. You build a mindset that is not easily disturbed. You build a mind that can stand in the midst of chaos and still see clearly where it is headed. There is immense freedom in this. When you no longer need the world to understand you, you are free. When you no longer require constant validation, you are free. When you no longer let criticism define you, you are free. That freedom grants you the ability to pursue your highest potential without being hindered by doubts that don't belong to you. You must make a decision today. Decide that your dreams are too important to be sacrificed for noise. Decide that your peace of mind is more valuable than winning arguments. Decide that your energy is too precious to be spent on things that do not contribute to your growth. Every day you practice this, you get closer to mastering it. Every day you guard your mind, you move closer to a life you can be proud of. Focus is a daily choice. Strength is a daily choice. Peace is a daily choice. You have the power to make that choice. You have the power to say no to the noise. You have the power to say yes to your future. It won't always be easy. Some days the noise will seem louder. Some days the distractions will feel endless. Some days the pressure to conform will be intense. But you must be stronger. You must remind yourself why you started. You must remind yourself what is at stake. You must remind yourself that greatness never achieved by following the crowd. Greatness is built by those who have the courage to walk their own path, even if it means walking alone sometimes. Greatness is built by those who understand that inner silence can be more powerful than external words. You are responsible for the life you build. You are responsible for the energy you allow around you. You are responsible for the mindset you bring to each day. And the stronger your mind becomes, the clearer your path becomes. The clearer your path, the faster you move. The faster you move, the closer you get to the life you were truly meant to live. The outside noise will not disappear. It will always be present. But you will be different. You will be stronger. You will be wiser. You will be focused. You will not bend every time the wind blows. You will not crumble every time someone criticizes you. You will not lose yourself chasing approval that ultimately doesn't matter. Train your mind until you can hear the noise and continue on your path anyway. Train your mind until you can stand tall in your own truth. Train your mind until you no longer need anyone else to tell you that you are on the right path, because you will know it deep within. This is your time. This is your life. Don't waste it listening to the noise. Focus on building the future you deserve. Focus on becoming the person you were meant to be. Focus on staying true to yourself no matter how loud the outside world gets. And if you stay true, if you stay focused, you will win. Because the world cannot stop a mind that refuses to give up.
Chapter 3. Fight for your dreams, especially when no one else believes. There comes a time when you realize that if you don't champion your own dreams, no one else will step in to do it for you. People might care about you, they might even love you, but they cannot see the unique fire that burns within you. They cannot fully comprehend the vision that was given only to you. And when you pursue something that stretches beyond what is comfortable or conventional, there will invariably be those who doubt you. It's not their responsibility to believe in your vision, it's yours. When nobody believes in you, you face a critical choice. You can shrink back, accept their limited expectations, and let your dreams diminish. Or you can rise to the occasion, fight even harder, because you know that what you are building is more significant than what they can currently perceive. Many potentially great lives have been stifled because someone close, perhaps with good intentions, said, "You can't do it." You must understand that their belief is not a prerequisite for your action. Your own belief is your unwavering responsibility. Fighting for your dreams can often be a solitary endeavor. You will have moments alone, questioning if you're being unrealistic for wanting more. You will wake up some mornings with doubt weighing heavily on you.
You will experience days where tangible results are nowhere to be seen, and all you have to sustain you is your own conviction. But that conviction is enough. That is the starting point of every remarkable achievement, the ability to believe when there's no external evidence yet. Most people find comfort in pursuing small dreams because small dreams don't intimidate anyone. Small dreams don't pose a threat. But when you decide to break the mold, when you set out to build something extraordinary, expect resistance. Expect people, even those closest to you, to express skepticism. Expect them to question your judgment. This doesn't necessarily mean they wish you ill. It often means they're constrained by their own fears and limitations. You must persevere through it all. You must remind yourself daily that your dream was given to you for a reason. If others were meant to understand it fully, they would have received the same vision, but they didn't. You did. It's yours. It's personal. It's sacred. And it's worth defending with every fiber of your being. The fight for your dreams is not just an external battle, it's profoundly an internal one too. The voices of doubt from the outside can be loud, but the voice of self-doubt from within can be even more insidious. Doubt will whisper that maybe the naysayers are right. Fear will tempt you to settle for what is easy and familiar. Comfort will beckon you to return to the known, but you must push forward. You must be stronger than your emotions on the difficult days. You must lead yourself when it feels like no one else is even paying attention. True fighters are not motivated by applause. They are motivated by purpose. They aren't waiting for a crowd to cheer them on. They are too busy laying the bricks of their future, one challenging day at a time. They are too focused on their vision to be concerned with external approval. They understand that respect often follows results, not precedes them. They are willing to walk a solitary path today to stand tall and proud tomorrow. When you fight for your dreams, you develop a toughness that cannot be faked. You earn a resilience that cannot be bought. You build a spirit that can withstand immense pressure. Every rejection can make you sharper. Every no can force you to dig deeper for resolve. Every failure can teach you how to fight more intelligently. There are no wasted battles when you are fighting for something genuinely meaningful. Every scar tells a story of someone who refused to back down. You have to be crystal clear on one thing. Your dream matters. It matters because it shapes you into the person you were meant to become. It matters because it compels you to become disciplined, focused, and relentless. It matters because it calls forth the best parts of you that might otherwise remain dormant. Dreams are not just about achieving an outcome, they are training ground for greatness. You will not always feel strong. You will not always feel courageous. Some days you will question everything. That is a natural part of the process. Courage is not the absence of fear. Courage is moving forward even when fear is shouting at you. Courage is getting back up even when it would be far easier to stay down. Courage is choosing to believe in yourself again each morning, even when the previous day ended in disappointment. There will be moments when quitting seems like the most reasonable option. There will be times when results arrive much slower than you hoped. There will be seasons when it feels like nobody notices how hard you are trying. That is precisely when you must remember that you are not fighting for attention. You are fighting for your future. You are not fighting for their applause. You are fighting to build the life you promised yourself you would create. No one can fight this battle for you. They can offer encouragement. They can wish you well. But in the end, it's you against your own excuses. It's you against your doubts. It's you against the temptation to settle for less. And it is you who has to choose whether you will keep fighting even when it feels like your efforts are not yielding immediate results. Winners are not those who never feel discouraged. Winners are those who feel discouraged and keep going anyway. Winners are not those who always possess perfect clarity. Winners are those who take the next step even when the path ahead looks obscure. Winners are not just those who get lucky breaks. Winners are those who keep showing up consistently enough to be there when the breaks do come. Fighting for your dreams means accepting that not everyone will understand your journey. It means letting go of the need to explain yourself to those who are not even willing to chase their own dreams. It means building your confidence from within, not borrowing it from external approval. It means setting your sights firmly on the life you want and refusing to look back no matter who chooses to walk away or express disapproval. It will hurt sometimes. It will feel unfair sometimes. It will feel exhausting sometimes. But every day you fight for your dreams, you are winning an internal war. Every day you refuse to give up, you are building a character that can withstand anything. And one day, you will stand where you dreamed of standing. You will look back and realize that every lonely night, every silent morning filled with effort, every unanswered doubt was worth it. The people who doubted you will likely still be where they were, still talking, still doubting, still waiting for someone else to believe in themselves. But you will be different. You will have tangible proof. You will have evidence that belief, backed by relentless action, changes everything. Never apologize for fighting for your dreams. Never feel guilty for choosing a path that others are too afraid to walk. Never dilute your ambition to make others feel more comfortable. Fight for it as if your life depends on it. Because in a very real sense, it does. Your future life, your future self, your future peace of mind, they all depend on the fight you are willing to put up today. There will come a day when you no longer have to explain why you believed. There will come a day when your results will speak far louder than your words ever could. There will come a day when your fight will become an inspiration to someone else. But to reach that point, you have to keep fighting now. You have to keep believing now. You have to keep moving forward now. Don't wait for belief from others. Be your own believer. Be your own fighter. Be your own proof. And when you feel tired, remember this. The dream is not given to the strongest or the fastest. It is given to the one who refuses to quit. Fight for your dreams. Fight when it's hard. Fight when it's lonely. Fight when it feels like nobody sees your efforts. Fight because you owe it to yourself. Fight because you were made for more. Fight because someday the world will look at you and say, I see it now. But you won't need their validation then, because you will already be living the dream you built with your own two hands.
Chapter 4. Show up for yourself every single day. If you want anything genuinely significant to materialize in your life, you have to show up for yourself consistently, every single day. Not just occasionally, not only when it's convenient, not merely when you feel a surge of excitement. Every single day. Because the life you are pursuing isn't built on sporadic bursts of motivation. It's constructed on a foundation of daily commitment. It's built when you choose to do the work, even when no one is watching and no one is cheering you on. Most people fall short of their dreams not because they lack potential, but because they lack consistency. They might show up with enthusiasm on Monday, but vanish by Friday. They might work hard for a week and then fall off the wagon for a month. They commit when things are easy and retreat when challenges arise. You cannot afford to live like that if you are serious about achieving your goals. You must cultivate the habit of being the kind of person who shows up, whether it feels good or not. You have to be able to trust yourself. If you say you are going to do something, you must follow through. If you set a goal, you must pursue it daily without waiting for someone else to remind you. The world tends to reward people who are consistent. Life opens doors for individuals who stay engaged in their pursuit.
Success is drawn to those who keep moving forward even on the slow days, the mundane days, and the difficult days. When you show up for yourself daily, you begin to build a profound self-respect that no one can take away from you. You stop needing external praise to keep going. You stop waiting for signs that your efforts are working. You stop depending on the outside world to tell you that you are enough. You know you are enough because you prove it to yourself every single day through your actions. Showing up isn't about achieving perfection. It's not about doing everything flawlessly. It's about being there for yourself when it truly counts. It's about pushing yourself to make progress, even when that progress is incremental. It's about understanding that one small step forward is infinitely better than standing still for another day, waiting for motivation to magically appear and rescue you. The truth is, there will be days when you don't feel like doing anything. Days when getting out of bed feels like a monumental task. Days when excuses seem more compelling than your goals. Days when the finish line feels so distant that you wonder if the effort is even worthwhile. Those are the days that matter most. Those are the days that distinguish the dreamers from the doers. Those are the days that you prove to yourself that your future matters more than your fleeting feelings. You must train yourself to become reliable, not just to others, but most importantly, to yourself. You must be the kind of person who can count on yourself to show up and do the work. Because if you cannot trust yourself, everything else begins to unravel. You will break your own promises. You will set goals you never reach. You will lose faith in your own potential. Every time you show up for yourself, you build trust. Every time you follow through on a small commitment, you strengthen your own foundation. Over time, that foundation becomes unshakable. Over time, you stop needing sheer willpower to show up, because showing up becomes an integral part of who you are. It becomes your identity. It becomes almost automatic. You cannot expect results without consistency. You cannot expect growth without discipline. You cannot expect change without effort. Dreams require more than just desire. They demand action, not once, not twice, every day, in ways both big and small, visible and invisible. It all counts. It all matters. The people who succeed are not necessarily the ones who had the easiest path. They are not just the ones who got lucky breaks. They are the ones who kept showing up after everyone else grew tired. They are the ones who kept practicing their craft when no one was paying attention. They are the ones who stayed committed to the process even when the results were slow to appear. Every day you wake up is a new opportunity to show up stronger. Every day you wake up, you have a fresh chance to make yourself proud. Every day you wake up, you are writing the story of your life through your actions. Will today be another page filled with inaction? Or will it be a page you can look back on with a sense of accomplishment and pride? You owe it to yourself to show up. You owe it to the future you have been dreaming about. You owe it to the vision that keeps pulling at your heart. You owe it to the younger version of yourself who once believed fervently that it was all possible. You owe it to the person you are in the process of becoming. And it doesn't always have to be grand gestures. It doesn't have to be loud or dramatic. Sometimes showing up looks like sitting quietly and working on your goals when you could easily be wasting time. Sometimes it looks like making one better choice today than you made yesterday. Sometimes it looks like giving your best effort, even when your energy reserves are low. Small steps are still steps. Small wins are still wins. Progress is progress, no matter how slow it may feel. The only way you truly lose is if you stop showing up. The only way you truly fail is if you decide that your dream is no longer worth fighting for. Some days you will feel energized. Some days you will feel exhausted. Some days you will be inspired. Some days you will feel numb. It doesn't matter. What matters is that you keep showing up, that you keep placing one stone on top of the next, that you keep stacking the days together, because what you do daily is what ultimately builds your future. It's easy to show up when it's fun. It's easy to show up when you're seeing results. It's easy to show up when people are cheering you on. But real winners show up when no one notices. Real winners show up when the results are invisible. Real winners show up when it feels like the world has forgotten about them. If you can master the art of showing up daily, you can build anything. You can transform your health. You can build wealth. You can create a life that you are genuinely proud to live. But it all begins and ends with whether or not you are willing to show up for yourself. Nobody else can do this part for you. Nobody else can put in the hours. Nobody else can endure the grind. It has to be you. You have to be willing to look in the mirror and say, I didn't quit today. I didn't let my feelings control me today. I chose my future over my comfort. There is no secret formula. There's no magic shortcut. There is only the day-to-day discipline of doing what needs to be done, even when you would much rather take the easy way out. And every time you do it, every time you show up anyway, you build a little more strength, a little more resilience, a little more belief. One day, you will look around and realize that everything you dreamed of having is now your reality. And it won't be because you got lucky. It won't be because someone handed it to you. It will be because you showed up for yourself every single day when nobody else could see the vision but you. You are writing your future with every choice you make. Make it a masterpiece. Make it something you can be proud of. Make it a life that reflects the strength it took to keep showing up, even when quitting would have been the easier option. Show up for yourself. Not once, not sometimes, every day. Chapter 5. Eliminate every distraction that weakens your focus. The world today isn't lacking in opportunities. It's critically short on sustained focus. It's relatively easy to start something new. It's significantly harder to stay with it long enough to see it through to completion. Every day, a multitude of things pull at your mind, your time, and your energy. If you don't become serious about eliminating distractions, they will slowly but surely erode your future. Focus isn't something you stumble upon. Focus is something you consciously build. You build it by actively protecting it. You build it by systematically cutting out anything that weakens its power. You have dreams to achieve, goals to reach, and a life to construct. You cannot afford to lose precious hours on things that don't genuinely matter in the long run. You cannot allow your attention to be constantly hijacked by every meaningless notification, every fleeting opinion that crosses your path, or every temptation to escape into something easier than doing the real, often challenging work. Every distraction comes with an inherent cost, and that cost is a piece of your future. If you are not in control of your attention, someone or something else is. If you are not deliberately deciding where your energy goes, the world will decide for you. And the world, by and large, doesn't prioritize your personal dreams or goals. It often aims to consume your time, offering little of lasting value in return. You have to be smarter than that. You have to recognize distractions for what they truly are: thieves. They steal your time, your energy, your focus, and ultimately, your future. Cutting out distractions isn't just about being more productive. It's about being more fully alive. It's about reclaiming ownership of your life. It's about refusing to live as a slave to constant interruptions, to trivial gossip, to mindless scrolling, or to entertainment that adds nothing to your personal growth. It's about standing up and declaring, my life matters too much to be wasted on the inconsequential. The first step to cutting out distractions is to be brutally honest with yourself. What is consistently stealing your focus every day? Where are you losing hours without even consciously realizing it? What habits are draining your energy without providing any meaningful return? You cannot fix what you are unwilling to acknowledge. You have to confront the truth about how you are currently spending your most valuable resource, your time. The second step is to create an environment that actively supports your goals. Your surroundings should encourage focus, not detract from it. Clean up your physical space, remove clutter, minimize noise, block out common temptations. Make it easier to do the right thing and harder to do the wrong thing. You cannot reasonably expect to stay focused in an environment that is inherently built for distraction. You must also protect your mental space. Not every conversation deserves your time. Not every argument is worth engaging in. Not every negative opinion requires a response. You have to guard your inner peace as if your future depends on it, because in many ways it does. Every time you get pulled into something that doesn't serve your higher purpose, you're losing momentum. If you're giving away pieces of yourself, your time, energy, and attention that should be reserved for your true mission, you are compromising your progress. It's not enough to simply say you want to focus. You have to create a system that makes sustained focus possible. Set clear, dedicated work times. Turn off non-essential notifications. Limit your exposure to things that consistently pull your mind away from what truly matters. Make a genuine commitment to yourself. If you can't manage it all day, start with one dedicated hour. Start with one focused session a day and gradually build from there. Momentum is built one intentional decision at a time. Every distraction you consciously remove is a gift to your future self. Every temptation you successfully resist is an investment in your future strength. Every time you choose focus over ease, you are sharpening your mind, strengthening your discipline, and moving one step closer to the life you were truly born to live. It all matters. It all adds up. Distractions are not just external. They can also be internal. Self-doubt is a powerful distraction. Overthinking is a distraction. Worrying excessively about what others think is a distraction. Fear of failure is a profound distraction. You must learn to quiet the inner noise just as diligently as you manage the outer noise. You must learn to refocus your mind when it starts wandering towards fear and doubt. You must be able to say to yourself, "This thought pattern is not helping me," and consciously bring your focus back to your work and your vision. Building a life worth living requires more than just talent. It requires endurance. It requires the ability to stay with something long after the initial excitement has faded. It requires the ability to keep putting in the work when nobody is watching and no immediate rewards are forthcoming. That kind of endurance can only exist if you are ruthless about eliminating distractions. You will have to make sacrifices. You will have to say no to things that others readily say yes to. You will have to miss out on some casual conversations, some social events, some fleeting trends. You will have to endure the occasional feeling of missing out. But in the end, you will realize that you didn't miss anything truly important. You will realize that the only thing genuinely worth chasing was your own potential and the fulfillment of your unique purpose. The truth is, the real battle for focus is not out there. It's in here. It's inside your own mind. Can you keep your eyes firmly on your vision when the world tries to pull you in 1,000 different directions? Can you stay true to your work when easy entertainment is just one click away? Can you keep moving forward when distractions are cleverly disguised as tempting opportunities? That is the test. That is what separates those who merely wish for a better life from those who actively achieve it.
Every time you choose focus, you are choosing your future over your fleeting feelings. Every time you say no to a distraction, you are saying yes to your dream. Every time you close a door to something meaningless, you open a door to something powerful. It's not about being perfect. It's about being intentional. It's about being clear on what you are building and fierce about protecting the path that gets you there. Nobody is coming to organize your time for you. Nobody is going to clear your schedule. Nobody is going to make you turn off the noise. That is your responsibility. That is your power. That is your opportunity to take control of your mind, to take control of your focus, and ultimately to take control of your future. The day you decide to systematically cut out every distraction that weakens your focus is the day everything begins to change. You start seeing progress more quickly. You start feeling more confident. You start waking up with more energy. You start living with a greater sense of purpose because you are no longer wasting your strength fighting battles that don't matter. There is no great secret to high achievement. There is only clear, unwavering focus applied daily. There is only consistent action fueled by disciplined energy. There is only the relentless removal of anything that tries to pull you off course. That is how dreams are built. That is how lives are transformed. You don't have to be smarter than everyone else. You don't have to be luckier. You don't have to be more naturally talented. But you must be more focused. You must be more disciplined. You must be more determined to protect your time, your energy, and your mind. This is your season to be sharper. This is your time to be stricter about what you allow into your life. This is your moment to decide that nothing and no one will pull you away from the future you are diligently building. Cut it out. If it weakens your focus, cut it out. If it steals your time, cut it out. If it drains your energy, cut it out. If it dims your light, cut it out. Your dream deserves your full strength. Your future deserves your full attention. Stay locked in. Stay committed. Stay focused. Because the life you truly want is on the other side of the distractions you are willing to eliminate today.
Chapter 6. Own your life without blaming anyone for anything. There comes a pivotal moment when you have to make a profound decision about the trajectory of your life. You have to decide whether you're going to continue pointing the finger and assigning blame, or whether you're going to take complete and utter responsibility for everything you want to change. Until you truly own your life without blaming anyone for anything, you remain stuck. You remain powerless. You remain behind. The day you decide to own it all is the day you start taking real, tangible control over your future. Blame is easy. It can even feel momentarily gratifying. It makes you believe that your shortcomings or failures are not your fault. It provides you with the convenient excuse to stay exactly where you are. But the long-term cost of blame is far too high. When you blame others, you essentially hand them control over your life. When you point fingers, you relinquish your ability to fix the situation. As long as it's perceived as someone else's fault, you have no genuine power to change it. Owning your life is about taking full responsibility for your decisions, your habits, your mindset, and your outcomes. It's not about blaming yourself harshly or engaging in self-flagellation. It's about recognizing with clarity and courage that you possess the power to make new choices, starting today. You are not stuck. You are not helpless. You are not broken beyond repair. You are simply standing at a crossroads where choosing ownership will propel you forward, while clinging to blame will inevitably hold you back. When you stop blaming, you start building.
When you stop making excuses, you start creating solutions. When you stop seeing yourself as a victim of circumstances, you start acting like a leader of your own life. That fundamental shift changes everything. Suddenly, obstacles are no longer insurmountable barriers. They become challenges to overcome. Mistakes are no longer definitive endings, they become valuable lessons. They become tools. They become the building blocks for the future you are determined to create. It doesn't ultimately matter how unfair your starting point may have seemed. It doesn't matter what setbacks you faced along the way. It doesn't matter what someone else did or didn't do in the past. What truly matters now is what you decide to do with your present and your future. You cannot rewrite the past, but you absolutely can shape the future. You can learn to turn every perceived disadvantage into a source of strength. You can use every failure as a training ground for improvement. You can allow every setback to fuel your drive instead of becoming a comfortable excuse. The strongest, most resilient people you will ever meet are those who stopped blaming others a long time ago. They don't waste precious time and energy complaining about how hard things are. They don't sit around idly wishing things were different. They get up every day and work diligently with the resources and circumstances they have. They build, they move forward, they focus on solutions, they take unwavering ownership over every part of their journey. Taking ownership means being willing to face uncomfortable truths about yourself. It means admitting when you've been lazy or undisciplined. It means recognizing when you've allowed fear to dictate your decisions. It means seeing clearly where you have fallen short of your own potential, not to beat yourself up, but to genuinely get better. Real, lasting change always starts with real, unflinching honesty. Not the kind of honesty you project to others, but the kind you practice with yourself when no one else is around. Every time you take responsibility for your life, you reclaim your power. You stop waiting for someone else to come and save you. You stop waiting for perfect conditions that may never arrive. You stop wasting time hoping that someone else will make things easier for you. You step decisively into the driver's seat. You start steering your life in the direction you truly want to go. And that is when things genuinely begin to shift in your favor. Nobody owes you your dream. Nobody is responsible for handing you success on a silver platter. It is your job to show up for yourself every single day. It is your job to work through the difficult days with perseverance. It is your job to stay focused when life gets messy and unpredictable. It is your job to keep moving forward even when no one else is clapping or offering encouragement. Your life is your responsibility from its beginning to its end. It might not be your fault that you were knocked down, but it is unequivocally your responsibility to get back up. It might not be your fault that life has presented you with unfair challenges, but it is your responsibility to rise above them. It might not be your fault that someone hurt you, but it is your responsibility to heal and move forward with your life. Responsibility in this context is not about assigning fault. It's about claiming ownership. It's about deciding that no matter what has happened, you are still in control of what happens next. You have to let go of the pervasive idea that someone or something else is holding you back. Nobody has that kind of ultimate power over you unless you willingly give it to them. Circumstances are real. Challenges are real. But so is your inherent ability to rise above them. So is your capacity to adapt and learn. So is your potential to create a new path forward when the old one is blocked. The people who live truly powerful and fulfilling lives are not the ones who had the easiest path laid out for them. They are the ones who refuse to let anything external to them dictate their future. They are the ones who owned their strengths, acknowledged their weaknesses, took responsibility for their choices, and kept building anyway. They are the ones who realized often through difficult experience, that blaming never built anything worthwhile. It's easy to find reasons why you're not where you want to be in life. It's easy to point to other people, to the economy, to your past experiences. But every minute spent engaged in blaming is a minute you could have spent building something positive. Every moment spent making excuses is a moment you could have used to make tangible progress. The cost of blame is too high. The trade-off is too painful. You simply cannot afford to waste your precious life blaming anyone for anything. Ownership is freedom. When you truly own your life, you realize that every step forward is within your control. Every improvement is within your reach. Every new level of growth is something you can actively pursue. You stop waiting for things to get easier. You stop hoping someone else will make things better for you. You step decisively into the driver's seat. You start steering your life in the direction you truly want to go. And that is when things genuinely begin to shift in your favor. It's not about achieving perfection. It's about embracing responsibility. It's about showing up for yourself even when you feel like hiding from the world. It's about putting one foot in front of the other, even when you're carrying the weight of past mistakes or disappointments. It's about believing deep in your core that your best days are not behind you, but are still ahead of you, waiting to be created, if you are willing to own the path forward. You owe it to yourself to take full ownership of your journey. You owe it to the future version of yourself who is counting on you not to quit. You owe it to the dreams that were placed inside your heart for a unique reason. You owe it to every part of you that still believes, however faintly, in something greater. Own your decisions, own your habits, own your mindset, own your outcomes, good or bad, easy or hard, expected or unexpected. Own it all. Because the moment you truly own it all is the moment you gain the profound power to change it all. Life is not primarily about what happens to you. It's about what you decide to do about it. It's about how you choose to respond. It's about the standards you set for yourself. It's about the effort you consistently bring even when nobody else is looking or acknowledging your work. There is no stronger foundation you can build for your life than one constructed of full, unreserved responsibility. No shortcuts, no excuses, no blame, just ownership, just courage, just relentless forward motion. And if you stay committed to owning your life without blaming anyone for anything, you will build a life so strong that no setback can destroy it. You will build a future so powerful that no outside force can tear it down. This is your life. Own it, live it, build it, without blaming anyone else for where you are, because the power to change and create has always been and always will be yours.
Chapter 7. Push yourself harder, especially when you feel like quitting. There will inevitably come a time, or many times, when the idea of quitting seems far easier, more rational, and more appealing than continuing on your path. It doesn't matter how grand your dream is. It doesn't matter how strong your initial motivation was. There will be days when the journey feels heavier than your capacity to carry it. Those are the defining moments. Those are the junctures where your future is truly decided, because everyone, at some point, feels like quitting, but not everyone chooses to dig deeper and push harder when that feeling arises. The primary reason most people never reach their full potential isn't a lack of talent or opportunity. It's that when the pressure mounts, they retreat. When discomfort intensifies, they look for an escape route. When it feels like nothing is working despite their efforts, they succumb to the insidious lie that whispers, "It's not worth it anymore." But success doesn't belong to those who only move when it's easy and convenient. It belongs to those who keep moving forward, even when every fiber of their being wants to stop. You cannot allow temporary feelings to dictate your permanent future. Feelings are transient. They come and go. Some mornings you'll wake up brimming with energy and enthusiasm. Other days you'll feel tired and depleted before you even begin. But your future isn't built on the shifting sands of how you feel. It's built on how you act, especially when it's hard to act. It's built on the decisions you make when the fire of your conviction flickers instead of roaring. Pushing harder doesn't mean pretending that everything is effortless or that you're not struggling. It means accepting that pain, discomfort, and challenge are often integral parts of the growth process, and then choosing to press forward anyway. It means recognizing that the greatest victories often come only after the most arduous struggles. It means understanding that feeling like quitting is not a definitive signal to stop. Rather, it's often a signal to dig deeper, to find a new reservoir of strength you didn't even know you possessed. When you hit a wall, a point of significant resistance or discouragement, most people instinctively slow down. Many give up entirely. Most settle for an average outcome or a less ambitious goal. But that cannot be your response. You must train yourself to see that wall not as an insurmountable stop sign, but as a challenge to be overcome. You must learn to see the struggle as a confirmation that you are on a meaningful path, because real, substantial growth only happens when you are stretched beyond your current comfort zone. Every champion in any field was once at a breaking point. Every winner once faced a moment where quitting seemed like the smarter, easier, or safer option. But they chose to push harder. They didn't allow temporary exhaustion or discouragement to write the final chapter of their story. They found a way to give just a little more, even when it felt like they had absolutely nothing left to give. They made a conscious decision that pain would not have the final say. They decided that difficulty would not be the reason they abandoned their pursuit. You have to be stronger than the voice inside your head that insidiously tells you it's not worth it anymore. You have to be wiser than the emotions that desperately beg you to quit and seek relief. You have to remain loyal to your future aspirations, not to your present comfort. Because comfort, while appealing, can be deceptive. Comfort will try to seduce you into giving up everything you've worked for just for a fleeting moment of ease. And every time you choose comfort over commitment, you move further away from the life you truly deserve and desire. There is a critical moment in every great pursuit where the easiest and most tempting thing to do is to quit. That moment acts as a gatekeeper, separating those who merely dream from those who actually achieve. If you can push harder at that precise moment when you want to quit the most, you can push through almost anything. If you can find the inner strength to take just one more step, to exert one more ounce of effort, to hold the line for one more day, you will discover a new, more resilient version of yourself, a version that is virtually unstoppable. The temptation to quit is loud and persuasive. It tells you that you're wasting your time. It tells you that the task is too hard. It tells you that the reward isn't worth the struggle. But often, the truth is the exact opposite. If your goal wasn't worthwhile, it wouldn't demand so much from you. If it wasn't important, it wouldn't test your resolve so intensely. The very size of the struggle is often an indication of the size of the reward that lies on the other side. When you feel like quitting, take a step back and consciously remember why you started in the first place. Reconnect with the vision that initially set your heart on fire. Recall the promises you made to yourself when you were filled with hope and determination. Reimagine the future you envisioned, the one that is still possible if you refuse to quit now. Often, the reason you feel like quitting is because you're closer to a breakthrough than you realize. It's because the success you seek is just beyond the current wall of exhaustion, just past the shadow of doubt,
just on the other side of the present pain. You must build the habit of pushing yourself one more step beyond the point where you would normally stop. You must train yourself to go a little further every time you feel that powerful urge to quit. One more repetition, one more page, one more call, one more hour. Those seemingly small, extra moments of effort are what separate the average from the great. Those extra moments are where true greatness is often born. Nobody else can do this part for you. Nobody will push for you when you're at your limit. Nobody will rescue you when it gets incredibly hard. This is where you save yourself. This is where you rise on your own strength. This is where you prove to yourself unequivocally that you are serious about your dreams. And once you prove it to yourself, that conviction becomes an unshakable part of you. Every time you push harder when you feel like quitting, you build something invaluable inside you. You build mental toughness. You build emotional resilience. You build a character that doesn't crumble under pressure. You build a foundation strong enough to support the weight of real, lasting success. The people who ultimately win are not superhuman. They are simply the ones who kept showing up long after they wanted to quit. They are the ones who push through the pain and discomfort one more time. They are the ones who trusted that their future aspirations were more valuable than their temporary, fleeting emotions. They made a conscious decision that pain would not have the final say. You have that same ability, that same potential for strength residing within you. It's not hidden or locked away. It's waiting for you to choose it when the road gets difficult. It's waiting for you to stand up when everything in you wants to sit down. It's waiting for you to keep believing when the world offers every conceivable reason to doubt. Don't quit on your future. Don't quit on your potential. Don't quit on the life you have been working so diligently to build. Push harder. Push with more belief than you have ever mustered before. Push forward knowing that every step, no matter how small it may seem, is shaping the person you are becoming. You will never regret pushing through when it mattered most. You will never regret choosing resilience over surrender. You will never regret betting on yourself when everyone else might have expected you to fold. But if you quit now, you will likely carry the heavy weight of wondering what could have been. You will carry the regret of knowing you might have been closer than you thought. You owe it to yourself to see how far you can truly go. You owe it to yourself to discover what you are genuinely capable of achieving. You owe it to the dream that resides inside you to fight harder, especially when you feel like quitting. This is where it happens. This is where real strength is born. This is where futures are forged. Push harder, hold the line, keep moving. Your future self will thank you every single day for not quitting when it was incredibly hard.
Trust your process even when results are invisible. There are distinct seasons in life and in any significant pursuit where you consistently put in the work day after day, but you don't immediately see the tangible results you're hoping for. You wake up early, you stay up late, you pour your energy, time, and resources into your goals, but the rewards seem distant, perhaps even illusory. This is a critical juncture. This is where most people give up. This is where doubt begins to whisper insidiously that maybe your efforts are futile, that maybe it's just not working. But the profound truth is that growth almost always happens long before the results become visible to the naked eye. Success is earned in the quiet, unseen hours of diligent effort, long before it ever shows up in the public sphere. Trusting your process means believing in the power of the unseen. It means cultivating the patience to stick with what you started, even when the world hasn't offered any applause or validation yet. It means having enough faith in yourself and your efforts to keep watering the seeds you've planted, even when they haven't yet broken through the surface of the ground. It's relatively easy to stay consistent when progress is obvious and visible. It's significantly harder when everything inside you and perhaps around you makes you wonder if your efforts are even making a difference. That is the real test of commitment and belief. Most people don't ultimately lose because they lacked potential or talent. They lose because they lacked patience. They planted good seeds, but they abandoned the field too soon. They started with strong intentions, but they quit before the harvest season arrived. The ones who ultimately win, the ones who achieve lasting success, are almost invariably the ones who stayed faithful to their chosen process. They trusted that their consistent effort was not being wasted, even when their emotions and external circumstances suggested otherwise. You have to cultivate a deep-seated trust that every positive action you take matters. Every workout is building your physical strength and endurance. Every study session is sharpening your mind and expanding your knowledge. Every quiet morning spent diligently planning your future is like stacking bricks one by one towards the life you are striving to build. You don't always see the immediate impact, but the work is never truly wasted. Energy invested wisely into your personal growth is never lost. There will be days when doubt feels overwhelmingly louder than belief, days when you question if your dreams are too audacious or unrealistic, days when you wonder if you are merely fooling yourself. Those are precisely the days when trust in your process matters most. Trust is what keeps you steady when turbulent emotions try to sway you off course. Trust is what keeps you grounded when the world offers you no immediate proof that your hard work is paying off. It takes immense courage to keep working diligently in the dark without the comfort of visible progress. It takes profound strength to stay loyal to a dream when you have no trophies, accolades, or external validation to show for it yet. It takes remarkable resilience to continue believing in yourself when nothing in your immediate environment looks different. That kind of unwavering belief doesn't come from outside validation. It comes from a deep internal wellspring. It comes from a profound understanding that real, sustainable growth happens internally first, often for a long time before it ever manifests externally on the surface. Imagine a seed planted deep underground. For weeks, perhaps even months, it looks as though nothing is happening. You water it, you nurture it, you wait patiently. The surface of the soil remains unchanged. But beneath that surface, a silent, powerful process is unfolding. Roots are growing, spreading, and anchoring. A foundation is being laid. Strength is being built entirely out of sight. The day the first tiny sprout finally breaks through the soil, it might appear sudden to an outside observer, but that emergence was the direct result of everything that was happening silently, consistently, below the surface. Your personal growth works in much the same way. You may not see the tangible evidence today. You may not feel significantly stronger or wiser yet. But if you stay with it, if you keep nurturing the right habits, if you keep showing up and putting in the consistent work, one day it will break through. One day the results will be too significant to hide. One day, the life you dreamed of will be standing right in front of you, not because of luck, but because you had the patience and fortitude to trust what you could not yet see. You must remind yourself daily that your work is not in vain. Every disciplined day matters. Every tough but right decision matters. Every time you say no to a distraction and yes to your priorities, it matters. It is all contributing to building something greater, even if it feels entirely invisible right now. Progress is not always loud and dramatic. Sometimes progress is silent, steady, and slow, but it is progress all the same. Trusting the process means detaching yourself from the seductive need for instant gratification. It means understanding that the best, most worthwhile things in life invariably take time to cultivate and achieve. It means respecting the natural rhythms of growth and development. You cannot plant a seed today and expect to harvest a full crop tomorrow. You cannot build a masterpiece overnight.
You cannot rush true greatness. You can only work for it consistently, stay committed to it unwavering, and trust that it is unfolding in its own perfect time. You will be tempted to stop. You will be tempted to change course dramatically. You will be tempted to chase what appear to be faster results elsewhere. But shortcuts almost always cost you more in the end. When you abandon your established process prematurely, you abandon the very work that was quietly building your strength and foundation. When you constantly start over, looking for quicker, easier ways, you lose the incredible compounding power of consistency. Stay steady, stay patient, stay locked into the work you know deep down you must do. Let others chase fleeting wins and jump from one new idea to another. You stay loyal to your process. You stay loyal to your personal standards. You stay loyal to the vision that was placed in your heart for a reason. The invisible seasons, the times when progress isn't apparent, are where your character is truly built. The invisible seasons are where your real, unshakable strength is forged. The invisible seasons are where the deep, solid foundation is laid so that when success finally arrives, it is built on something that will last, something that can withstand future challenges. Without the silent, diligent seasons of unseen work, there can be no strong, sustainable harvest. Patience is not a passive act of waiting. Patience is powerful. It is the conscious decision to keep giving your best effort even when the applause has not yet come. It is the deliberate choice to stay consistent even when it feels like nobody is noticing your dedication. It is the wisdom to understand that unseen growth is still genuine growth, that unseen progress is still real progress, and that unseen victories are still significant victories. Every day you show up and do the work is a deposit into your future account. Every time you choose discipline over ease, you are investing in a life that will eventually show its rich rewards. You don't have to see the results today to trust implicitly that they are on their way. You don't have to feel tangible progress every single second to know with certainty that you are building something great. Trust the work you are doing. Trust the habits you are diligently forming. Trust the character you are consciously shaping. Trust the vision you are fiercely protecting. Trust that your time is coming. If you refuse to quit during the silent, unseen seasons, you will eventually reap the rewards. The ones who make it are invariably the ones who outlast the invisible days. They are the ones who stay consistent long after the initial excitement wears off. They are the ones who build quietly and diligently while others give up because they cannot see immediate, tangible rewards. The future belongs to the patient. The rewards belong to the consistent. The ultimate victory belongs to those who trusted their process even when nothing on the surface seemed to be changing. Keep showing up. Keep doing the work. Keep believing even when the world offers no guarantees, because you are not working for temporary applause. You are working for a permanent, profound transformation. Stay the course. Trust the process. The invisible work you are doing today is building a future so real and powerful that one day it will be impossible for the world not to see it.
Chapter 9. Stay locked in on your vision until you win. When you embark on a journey towards something bigger, something more meaningful than your current reality, the world will inevitably test your resolve. Distractions will arise from every corner. Doubts, both internal and external, will surface. Obstacles you never anticipated will appear on your path. It's relatively easy to stay focused when everything is going smoothly and according to plan. It becomes significantly harder when things get messy, chaotic, and uncertain. That is precisely why your vision has to be stronger, more compelling, and more deeply ingrained than your fleeting emotions. You must lock into your vision so tightly that nothing, absolutely nothing, can pull you away from it. You must hold onto your vision with the grip so tenacious that even the worst days, the most discouraging setbacks cannot loosen its hold on your mind and heart. Your vision is the vivid mental picture of the life you are actively building. It's not something you glance at once and then forget. It's something you have to consciously keep alive, vibrant, and at the forefront of your mind every single day. If you don't actively nurture it and keep it in front of you, the demands and routines of daily life will inevitably bury it. The constant noise of the world will drown it out. The myriad distractions of modern existence will pull your attention away from it. You simply cannot afford to let that happen. Protecting and nurturing your vision is your fundamental responsibility. Staying locked in on your vision means choosing it again and again, deliberately and consciously. Choosing it when you are tired and weary, choosing it when you are discouraged and disheartened, choosing it when other, seemingly easier opportunities present themselves, choosing it when quitting feels like the most convenient and rational option. Your vision must become the unwavering guiding force behind every significant decision you make. It must direct how you allocate your time, where you invest your energy, what you focus on, and the attitude you bring to every endeavor. Most people don't ultimately fail because their dreams were inherently impossible to achieve. They often fail because they lost sight of their dreams when things got tough. They allowed fear to cloud their vision and judgment. They allowed short-term, reactive emotions to dictate long-term, critical choices. They allowed the opinions and doubts of others to shake their own inner clarity and conviction. If you are genuinely serious about winning, about achieving your most cherished goals, you must refuse to let anything external to you dilute or diminish the power of the vision that resides inside of you. You must see your vision so clearly in your mind's eye that it becomes more real, more tangible than your current circumstances. You must believe in it so strongly and fervently that temporary setbacks, no matter how painful, cannot shake your underlying faith in its eventual realization. You must hold on to it so tightly that even when you are surrounded by people who don't see it, who don't understand it, or who actively ridicule it, you keep building steadfastly towards it without hesitation or apology. Your vision must become an integral part of who you are. It cannot just be something you talk about enthusiastically when you feel inspired or motivated. It must be something you commit to with unwavering dedication, even when you feel nothing at all or when you feel overwhelmed by challenges. When initial motivation inevitably fades, when the road gets long and arduous, when the tangible rewards are slow to materialize, it is your deep-seated loyalty to your vision that will keep you moving forward. Every decision you make, consciously or unconsciously, either brings you closer to your vision or pulls you further away from it. There is no neutral ground in this regard. Every hour you spend, every conversation you entertain, every habit you cultivate, every action you take, it is either feeding your vision or feeding your distractions. You must decide with absolute clarity which one matters more to you. Staying locked in requires immense discipline. It requires saying no to many good things so that you can say a resounding yes to the very best things, the things that align directly with your vision. It requires consistently ignoring the voices, both internal and external, that tell you to settle for less than you're capable of. It requires actively rejecting the seductive comfort that tries to slow you down and keep you in familiar but unfulfilling territory. It requires reminding yourself daily, even hourly, why you started on this path and why achieving this vision truly matters to you. The truth is, people will not always understand your vision. They will question it. They will doubt its feasibility. They will try to offer you what they perceive as safer, more conventional alternatives. You must be able to stand strong and unwavering even when nobody else is clapping for you or offering encouragement. You must be able to walk your path alone if necessary, because if your belief in your vision depends on the approval or validation of others, you will likely never reach it. You are not building your dream for applause. You are building it because it represents who you are meant to become. You are building it because it is the life you were created to live.
You are building it because anything less would be a profound betrayal of your own unique potential. There will be days when the gap between where you are currently and where your vision beckons you to be feels overwhelmingly vast and discouraging. There will be seasons when progress is so slow that it seems almost invisible. Those are precisely the times when locking into your vision matters most. Those are the times when you must see with the eyes of your heart and your faith what your physical eyes cannot yet perceive. Locking into your vision is not a passive act of wishful thinking. It is an active, deliberate, and intentional process. It means waking up every morning and consciously setting your mind on the future you are actively creating. It means diligently guarding your thoughts, carefully curating your conversations, and intentionally shaping your environment so that nothing contaminates the clarity and power of your purpose. You have to become ruthless about what you allow into your mental and emotional space. Not every voice deserves your attention. Not every opinion warrants your energy. Not every distraction is worthy of your precious time. You must create an ecosystem around yourself that constantly reminds you of who you are, what you stand for, and where you are going. There will be setbacks. There will be failures. There will be disappointments. That is an inevitable part of any meaningful journey. Expect it, prepare for it, but do not, under any circumstances, allow it to redefine or diminish your vision. Do not shrink your dreams to fit temporary, challenging circumstances. Do not let short-term pain convince you to abandon long-term greatness. When it gets hard, do not lower your standards. When it gets lonely, do not question your chosen path. When progress feels slow, do not doubt your inherent ability to achieve your goals. Stay locked in. Stay committed. Stay focused on the life you said you wanted when you were clear-headed, when you were feeling brave, when you knew exactly why this vision mattered so deeply to you. The ones who ultimately win are not the ones who encountered the fewest problems. They are the ones who refuse to be fundamentally distracted or derailed by problems. They are the ones who kept their eyes firmly on the prize, even when storms of adversity surrounded them. They are the ones who stayed steady and composed while everyone else around them was shaken. You must strive to become unshakable in your resolve. You must become immovable in your commitment. You must become so completely locked into your vision that no rejection, no failure, no delay, however prolonged, can cause you to quit. You must burn the idea into the very core of your being that quitting is not an option. Settling for less than your vision is not an option. Doubting yourself into action is not an option. Every day you stay locked in, you are building powerful momentum. Every day you stay focused, you are gaining crucial ground. Every day you stay loyal to your vision, you are progressively separating yourself from the crowd that gives up too easily. It might not show up tangibly today. It might not be obvious tomorrow. But one day, the world will see, with undeniable clarity, what you refuse to stop building through sheer persistence and unwavering focus. The life you truly want is on the other side of consistent, dedicated focus. The dreams you hold dear are on the other side of relentless, unwavering commitment. The person you are meant to become is waiting patiently on the other side of unshakable, profound belief in your vision. You must refuse to be moved by temporary, fluctuating emotions. You must refuse to be distracted by temporary, albeit painful struggles. You must refuse to be pulled away by temporary, fleeting pleasures that offer no long-term fulfillment. You must hold steady. You must stand tall. You must keep moving forward, even if, at times, you feel like you have to crawl. Stay locked in on your vision until you win, not until you get tired, not until it gets bored, not until it gets uncomfortable. Until you win. Until you are standing firmly inside the life you once only dreamed of.
That is the unwavering mindset it takes. That is the profound commitment it demands. That is the price you must be willing to pay. And when you pay it with diligence and perseverance, you will know without a shadow of a doubt that it was worth every ounce of effort, every sacrifice, every lonely night, every unseen effort, every tear, every rejection, every moment you chose discipline over ease. Stay locked in, stay true, stay unbreakable until you win.
Chapter 10. Rise again. Every time you fall or feel lost. Life, in its inherent nature, will knock you down. It's not a question of if, it's simply a matter of when. No matter how strong you believe yourself to be, no matter how meticulously prepared you think you are, there will be moments when you stumble and fall. There will be days when your best laid plans unravel before your eyes. There will be seasons where everything feels uncertain, chaotic, and overwhelming. In those critical moments, your true strength is revealed, not by how perfectly you manage to avoid falling, but by how many times you are willing and able to rise again. Falling is not synonymous with failure. Staying down is. Feeling lost is not an indication of weakness. Giving up on yourself is. Every champion, every inspiring leader, every individual who has ever built something truly meaningful has had to learn the indispensable art of rising again. When they felt defeated, they had to consciously rebuild their courage. When their confidence was shattered, they had to painstakingly piece it back together. When the ground beneath them shifted unexpectedly, they had to find their footing once more. Rising again isn't about pretending you were never hurt or that the fall didn't impact you. It's about refusing to let the hurt, the disappointment, or the setback permanently stop you from pursuing your journey. When you fall, your mind will typically offer you two distinct paths. One path whispers insidiously, "Stay down. It's safer here. Protect yourself. Don't risk trying again." The other path, often quieter but more resonant with your true potential, says, "Stand up. Move forward. Trust that this is not where your story is meant to end." The easy path will always be to give up. The stronger, more rewarding path will always be to rise. Every single time you choose to rise again after a fall, you are making a profound decision about the kind of life you will ultimately live. You are deciding whether you will be defined by your defeats or by your resilience. There is no shame in falling. It is a natural part of striving and growing. There is no shame in losing your way temporarily. It happens to everyone on a challenging path. The only real shame lies in refusing to fight back, in refusing to get up. The shame lies in believing that one fall, or even multiple falls, somehow means you are not worthy of success or happiness. The truth is, every fall is a test. It's a test of your hunger, your discipline, your commitment, and your heart. Every setback is essentially asking you one crucial question: how badly do you really want this? If you are genuinely serious about building the life you dream of, you must get accustomed to the process of getting up even when it would be far easier and perhaps more comfortable to stay down. You must get used to feeling lost at times and still taking courageous action. You must get used to being confused or uncertain and still moving forward in the general direction of your goals. Clarity is not always instantaneous. Strength is not always obvious, even to ourselves. Sometimes you build both, clarity and strength, by simply refusing to quit, by choosing to rise one more time. The people you admire, the ones you see as successful and accomplished, they fell too, many times. They had days when they wanted to disappear from the world. They had moments when they profoundly questioned their own worth and abilities. They had seasons when nothing seemed to make sense, when their efforts seemed futile. But they kept getting up. They kept trusting, even with a sliver of faith, that forward motion, even the smallest, most hesitant step, would eventually lead them back to a sense of purpose, back to their inherent strength, back to eventual victory.
There will be times when the fall hurts more than you ever expected. There will be times when the road back to where you were or where you want to be feels significantly longer and more arduous than you initially thought. That is not the time to abandon your dreams. That is not the time to drastically rewrite your vision out of fear or discouragement. That is precisely the time to rise, to metaphorically dust yourself off and to remember who you truly are and what you are capable of. That is the time to reclaim your focus, gather your resolve, and take the very next step, however small. Even if you are limping, figuratively or literally, keep moving. Rising again doesn't mean pretending that everything is suddenly fine or that the pain doesn't exist. It means courageously facing the pain, learning the valuable lessons it offers, and steadfastly refusing to be destroyed or permanently defined by it. It means acknowledging the loss or the setback, but refusing to lose yourself completely in it. It means standing in the middle of your broken plans and having the tenacity to start building new ones, often with whatever pieces you have left. It means believing, with every fiber of your being, that your future is still worth fighting for, even when today feels unbearably heavy and discouraging. There will be moments when you genuinely don't feel strong enough to rise. That's okay. That's human. Strength isn't about never feeling weak. Strength is about acting despite the feeling of weakness. Strength is about choosing purposeful action when your emotions are screaming at you to quit and retreat. Strength is about showing up to fight for your life, for your dreams, even when you don't feel like a fighter at all.
You have to understand and accept that your journey will not be a perfectly straight, predictable line. It will be full of unexpected twists, challenging setbacks, occasional wrong turns, and unforeseen storms. That doesn't mean you are failing. That doesn't mean you are inherently flawed or broken. That simply means you are living a real, dynamic life. That means you are growing. That means you are doing the authentic, often difficult work of building a meaningful and fulfilling existence. You must give yourself permission to be human, to fall, to feel lost, to doubt yourself at times. And then, crucially, you must give yourself the unwavering responsibility to rise anyway, to internalize the lessons, to adjust your plan as needed, and to harden your resolve for the path ahead. You are not supposed to be perfect. You are supposed to be resilient. You are supposed to be relentless in your pursuit of what matters to you. You are supposed to be someone who does not back down from the hard, challenging, but ultimately rewarding parts of life. When you rise after a fall, you send a powerful message to the world. You declare, I am not done. I am not finished. I am not broken beyond repair. I am still standing. I am still building. I am still believing. More importantly, you send a powerful message to yourself that you are trustworthy, that you can count on yourself when it matters most, that no matter how rough the journey gets, you will not abandon your future. You are not defined by your falls. You are defined by your capacity to rise. You are defined by the courage it takes to stand back up time and time again. You are defined by the conscious decision to keep going when quitting would be the far easier and more understandable option. You are defined by your ability to transform pain into power, setbacks into setups for future success, and loss into opportunities for leadership and growth. Every time you rise again, you build more than just your external goals. You build your soul. You build a level of grit and tenacity that will carry you through every future storm life may throw your way. You build an inner fire of determination that cannot be easily extinguished by the winds of disappointment or adversity. You build a reputation with yourself, a deep-seated self-trust that says, no matter what happens, I will find my way back. I will overcome. You don't need to have all the answers to rise again. You don't need to have the perfect, foolproof plan. You simply need to decide with conviction that the story is not over yet.
You simply need to trust that as long as you are breathing, you have another move to make, another option to explore. You have another chapter to write in the book of your life. You have another victory, however small, to earn. There will be times when you rise quietly, without fanfare or an audience. No celebration, no external validation, just you, your unwavering determination, and your profound belief that your life still matters, that your dreams are still valid. Those are often the rises that count the most. Those are the rises that transform you, at your core, into someone truly unstoppable. You will rise from every fall if you choose to. You will find your way through every period of confusion if you keep moving forward. You will rebuild stronger every time life tries to tear you down if you refuse to stay broken. Your dreams are still alive. Your future is still possible. Your strength is still growing with every challenge you overcome. Rise again. Rise tired. Rise scared. Rise uncertain. Rise bruised. Rise confused. But rise. Because every rise is a victory in itself. Every rise is a step closer to the life you are capable of living. Every rise is undeniable proof that you are not done yet. You are still in the fight. You are still writing your story. You are still becoming the person you were born to be. And the world has not seen the best of you yet. Rise again.